We're going to talk about how we can make a graph on distance versus time.
Distance versus time?
Yes.
Why would I want to know that? Because I ever get chased by a dinosaur?
Yes.
Dinosaurs!
Okay, so this is George.
Hi, George.
He is standing somewhere on the plains at, we'll say distance 0. He's looking off in the distance and he sees his lunch over here and he's hungry.
That's his lunch?
That's his lunch.
Okay.
He's going to go over here and eat his lunch. His lunch is 100 meters away from him. So he's going to move at a constant rate of speed because he's going to be running as fast as he can so his lunch doesn't get away. So here he goes.
He got his lunch?
Got his lunch.
Oh.
We'll say it took him 5 seconds to get there.
Okay.
Okay? Because he's quick. All right? So now we're going to explain that in a graph.
Yep.
Okay, so now we're going to build a graph for George running up to get his lunch. So if we remember our tails, T, the first thing we need is our title.
So what is a good title for today? George Frank distance time graph?
Sure.
George versus Frank. Okay.
Okay, so A is our axis.
Axis.
So which axis is which?
Well, we're supposed to always put time on the x-axis, right? Mm-hmm. So this would be our time. And that means our distance has to go on y.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So I, what does I stand for?
Didn't it stand for interval?
Interval, right.
So we need to figure out an interval for time. Well,
so it took 5 seconds for George to get to his lunch. But we're going to continue on with this story, so we need to go on a little bit further. So we can go on to, say, 20 seconds.
So then if I use intervals of 2, that should be good, right?
Right.
Okay.
All right. So now, what about our intervals of distance?
Well, we know our total distance is 100 meters.
Right.
So that should be our maximum, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how about intervals of 25?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Next one is L. What does L stand for?
Labels.
Labels.
So we measured our time in seconds.
So we're going to put seconds there. Our label for distance is going to be?
Meters.
Meters. Exactly.
Okay.
And then S. What does the S stand for in tails? So S stands for scale.
And if I look at my scale, it looks like it's going to work, right?
Right.
Okay.
It might seem a little off right now, because right now we're only going up to 5 seconds. But our story is going to continue up to about 15 or 20 seconds. So our scale should be just fine.
Okay. So what do I do next?
Okay. So we know that George went 100 meters in 5 seconds.
100 meters in 5 seconds.
So let's put a dot there.
Okay.
All right. So now we're going to draw a line from where he was at, 0 meters and 0 seconds.
Okay. To his dot?
To his dot.
So that's George's line.
Right. He was moving at a constant speed.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So after he got to his lunch, he stayed there and ate for a while. So we'll say he ate for another 5 seconds. So his distance did not change. The time did.
Awesome.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
What if I bring Frank? And Frank likes to shoot things.
Right.
So what if Frank shoots over here? And he shoots George.
Okay. So Frank's bullet is going to go from 0 meters to 100 meters where George is. And it's going to be at a constant rate of speed also. But it's going to be much faster than this dinosaur can run.
Okay.
So we're going to graph that now too.
Here. Okay, so now we're going to do the bullet.
Right. So the bullet started at the distance of 0. But it didn't start at the time of 0. It started after a few seconds after George started eating.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we'll say it started at about 7 seconds.
Okay.
All right. And it only took 2 seconds to go up to 100 meters. So we'll say, we'll put a dot at 0 seconds and 7 seconds, because that's its starting point.
Got it.
Okay. We're also going to put a dot at 9 seconds and 100 meters.
Because that's where...
That's where it ended.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're going to draw a line connecting those.
Like that.
Exactly.
So that is our bullet.
Right.
Do you see that again?
Right. Now, you should note that this line for the bullet is much steeper than the line for George. That's because it was moving at a constant rate of speed, but moving much faster. So this is like a car driving on the highway versus a car driving in the neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay, so Frank shot George. So we're going to start off by sneaking up on him. And we're pretty sure that he's dead, so we're going to get excited to start running a little bit faster. Oh, ow! So now we need to graph that.
Now we're going to graph that.
Now what happens?
What happens next?
George's going to chase him.
Right. So now, George is going to chase the guy that just got shot him. Because he's mad.
Holy cannolis!
Okay, now we're going to be talking about Frank, our little army hunter dude. So we're going to start him at a time of 0. So we're going to say his 0 time is after he fired the bullet and he starts to walk up to George. So we have a dot there, and we also have a dot at where he finished. He walked about halfway before he stopped. So he walked 50 meters. And we'll say it took him about 5 seconds to do that.
To walk 50 meters?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's our dot.
Right. So now, what happened here was he started off walking slowly, and the further he went, the faster he went.
Oh.
So we need to kind of change the slope. It's not going to be a straight line. It's going to be curved like that. Exactly. Because at this point right here, he's walking a lot faster than he is right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Okay. So that point there, at 5 seconds, is where he stopped. He rested for a little bit, and then he turned around and ran back into the other direction. Okay? So that's him stopping for a second. He's like, oh wait, that dinosaur's breathing. And then he's going to run back in the opposite direction.
So he'll be running back towards 0 distance.
Towards 0 distance. Correct.
So our graph should look like that.
Right. He's leaving at a constant rate of speed because he's moving as fast as he can for the whole time to try to get away from the dinosaur that wants to eat him.
So does the dinosaur get him in the end?
Oh, yes.
This song is dedicated for Frank.